These lights are bright. Jeez.
Willie, how did the team respond Sunday, and what were kind of the points of emphasis to turn the page on that game?
I thought our guys respond really well. I thought we were sharp in practice yesterday, and we had energy out there. And I was looking to see how our guys were going to respond, and they were locked in. You know, they were again, the execution was big time, which we needed it to be, and I think they'll respond well. You know, they got the right mind frame, and they understand what it's going to take for us to move forward.
All right, Preston.
Just going back to the ASU game, you guys have been such a good first half team all season, but it seemed like it was kind of slow out of the gates. What do you think contributed to the slow start, and was that a fluke, or is that something that you guys are making an effort to turn around now?
I think any game when you go in and you don't play like you want to, you look at what you're doing well and what you're not doing well, and you try to correct it. Can't sit and say it's a fluke. It's just every game's different. You know, you try to look and see what you're doing right and try to do them even better, and then what you're doing wrong and try to correct those mistakes. And we had a lot of mistakes in that game, especially on third downs where we wasn't converting. And in games before, we was converting on third downs, you know, and we had penalties, we had drop balls, it was early snaps. We had a lot of things that killed us. And I said it to our team after the game, we're not good enough to beat ourselves and try to win Pac-12 games. You know, we got to play clean ball games and not have that many penalties or drop balls and expect to win those games.
The long snapper position obviously isn't really in the limelight. What can you say about Taggart and his precision and his reliability and how important he is to the team?
Tanner's very important. And like you say, they don't get a lot of credit, but for him to get the ball back there, and we ask him to get it back there at a certain time and to do it consistently and get the punter the ball where he needs it in order to kick the ball. He's big, and he knows how important he is to our team. Tanner's always around here. He's always with Coach, always trying to find a way to get better and be a great teammate. And he's a really good one.
I think the first couple of drives of each half, the defense maybe didn't play all that well, but for the most part, outside of that, they did. How would you grade their play and the situation they were put in because of the offense's inability to move the football?
I thought that the first half, like I said after the game, the first two series, we wasn't locked in. You know, I thought after that we had made some adjustments and finished the half off the way that we needed to. And same thing coming out of halftime. I didn't think we started the way we wanted to. They drove down and got a touchdown. And but I thought our defense did some good things in the game. They made some good plays, a lot of tackle for loss, and they actually got the ball back to our offense the way we were able to come back and take the lead in the fourth quarter. But there's also some things we can get better at defense. We know we can't give up a lot of big plays. We gave up probably too many explosive plays, and we gave up too many points. You know, we got to keep people from scoring touchdowns, and that's got to be important to our guys and what we do. That's more important than yardage and anything else, is to keep them out the end zone, and that's something we got to continue to work on.
Hey, Coach, after the game, players really seem to be accountable for their actions. How much of a step in the right direction is that for, you know, this team, especially coming after a loss?
I think that's really important for everyone. Everyone takes credit when we win, and I think when we lose, we all should take credit for that loss. And our guys showed that the other night, and coaches and players, and that shows you that it means a lot to them, and that losing sucks. And when the guys feel that way, you get excited because you know they're gonna go out and work to see to it that those things don't happen again. You know, so our guys understood what we did wrong and that they can't happen. We got to be better at those things, and it's great for them to see that and own up to it afterwards and say we all had a part in that. So we all can work really hard to get it right.
Hey, Coach, should we take Royce Freeman's comments with a grain of salt about being unfocused and unprepared mentally, just maybe because he was so disappointed in the loss? Or do you agree that you guys came out unprepared and unfocused mentally?
I wouldn't say unprepared. I thought our guys were prepared. Again, I just didn't think we played sharp. We didn't play like we had been playing on the offense side of the ball. Again, those mental mistakes, those are things that can be corrected, and I can say the energy on the sideline wasn't what it been in the past. And again, I put that on me. I didn't put as much emphasis on that in the week like I had been in the prior weeks. And our football team is not to the stage where they just do it all the time. We got to continue to stress the message and how important it is to have the energy on the sideline and the entire game. I think that's important. But again, I don't think you take Russ' comments and run with it. I think if more than anything, you probably should have asked Russ what he meant by that. Not run with it. I don't think he meant anything malicious. But whenever you play like that, you ask yourself were you focused or prepared. And I think our guys were prepared for them to come back and take the lead in that game. Guys knew what to do. It's just, again, executing. We didn't execute well at all.
You had to play much of the game without Hodgkins. How you feel about the depth at inside linebacker right now?
I mean, coming in, we knew we didn't have a lot of depth at a lot of positions, But again, when someone go down, the next guy got to step up and be ready to play. We're not gonna sit around and cry with spoiled milk. The next guy up, and that's why we always constantly talk to our guys about being ready for that opportunity. You never know when it's gonna come, and it's on you as an individual to be ready. So and I think our guys are starting to see that as guys go down. I better make sure I practice well and be ready to go for my opportunity.
All right, Ryan.
Willie, Jalen Jelks is a guy who's flashed talent over the years, hasn't always been able to stay healthy. Is he close to kind of putting it all together?
I think he is. I think each week he's getting better and better. And I mean, I've been really impressed with his toughness, because he's been getting beat up. He's not the biggest guy and he's down in the trenches, but he fights his tail off and he showed what he's capable of doing. And like I say, each game he's made improvements. And I thought Saturday was kind of like his coming out party, kind of showing this is the level that I can play on. And now we just need for him to continue to play that way.
Coach, only one carry each for Benoit and Brooks James. That's something you wish you could have called more plays for, or was it the situation that dictated that?
Well, I think it was the situation. We were down 31-14 there. We were down pretty much the entire game into that late there in the fourth. I think it was more the situation, and again, us not converting on third down, which allowed us to extend drives. We didn't do that, and we were really good on third down the first 3 ball games. And then we didn't get those possessions that we needed. We didn't have a lot of time from time of possession standpoint. And again, I think we only ran 60-some plays. The week before we had 90-something. So I think all that had something to do with it. A big part of it, we didn't convert to allow us to have more plays.
All right, Jonathan.
Willie, yesterday in the NFL, we saw a lot of teams and players decide to either not participate in the national anthem or they continued to kneel. Is that something you talk with your players about at all, and how important do you think it is to have conversations like that with your team?
I think it's very important, and we always talk as a football team, and I think it's our job as coaches to always educate our guys on what's going on, and sometimes our guys get so caught up in just their little lives here on campus and football and not really understand what's going on in the world and in our country and everywhere. And so we always talk about things, and our guys know they can always bring things up, and we always talk about let's come together, and if it's something that's affect our team or anyone, we're going to talk about it and try to do what's best for our team and make sure we're educated on what's going on. And I think that's the most important thing, is that we continue to educate our young people. And so that's very important to me and our team, and it's great that our guys understand that, and when they do have issues, they'll come and we'll talk about them.
Hey, Coach. Brooke James had that great touchdown catch. Then afterwards, got flagged for the penalty. How do you talk to your players about maybe keeping their emotions checked after a big play like that so it doesn't hurt the team? Is there kind of a fine line there, for the way you approach that?
No, you approach it however. Like I approached it the way that I did. The other day I was ticked off that he got a penalty after making a great play, and it was a teaching lesson again for us, and had to explain to him, hey, look, you made a great play there. Our football team is coming back. We got the momentum. We can't allow Uncle Mo to get back on their side for something selfishly that we can control, and I probably said it a little demanding with some intensity there, but that's the way I felt then, and that's what Tony needed then, but I did go back over and grab him by the head and tell him that I love him, and the camera didn't get that, and that ticked me off. They didn't get that part, but if it would have followed me over there, I went back and told him that I love him, and we just can't do that, and he understood that, and he know where he made a mistake, and again, your emotions get caught up in the game, and he was excited. We came back, and you just think about our football team and what we're going through and what we're trying to build and change the culture. He was excited. We were coming back. He made a big time play for us, but we gotta understand those things can't happen, and I think as we continue to learn how to win again, we'll do better at those things.
On the right, Jerry.
Coach, speaking of penalties, I know you can't comment too much. I'm critical one happened with Apelu on the kickoff. Was there something that he should have done differently, or well, how can you? I looked at the video and looked over, and I couldn't find exactly why he was flagged. Can you comment on that?
I'm sort of like you. I was looking forward to, and it is what it is. We got a penalty, and we just can't do what you did. I mean, he can't block him. You gotta let him go next time.
Speaking of culture change, I mean, Cal is going from a air raid attack and really playing poor defense to being physical on both sides. Have you been impressed with what you've seen from them so far? And do you even look at their past tape or just this year?
I looked when I first got here. I looked at past tape. I looked at our games, but been really focused on this year and what they're doing on the different leadership, and they're playing really good football, team football together. They're physical, like you say. They're well coached and playing with a lot of energy on both sides of the ball, and you see the difference. You see a team that's playing their tails off for their new coach and taking on his personality.
Thank you, Coach.
All righty.